Hi folks, Steven Sapini here again. I know, another interview with another great individual. We have with us Dr. Vik, known as the
Culture King.
Culture King. Okay. So when I pause, you speak. This is how an interview works, Dr. Vik.
Okay. Thank you, Steven.
I love giving Dr. Vik a hard time, but he's really a great guy. Come to know him. And so, Dr. Vik, you've been the only coach at Zappos, a company that just sold to Amazon for like $900 million for years,
Yep.
kind of building their culture. And you've recently left to start your own new company called Culture King, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh, okay. So talk to us about, a little bit about like what you were responsible for at Zappos and what, why you left to start Culture King.
Well, I tell you what, Zappos is an amazing company, and they have a great culture. And I was with them 4.5 years, and I help the culture with my part as far as coaching. I work with the individuals. We did goal setting. We try to create the language with vision planners and signs around the office and positive blogs that went out every day to all the employees. So we wanted to create the language which made it very empowering and engaging for the employees. And we've had so many people tour Zappos, probably 10 or 20,000. And I talked to a lot of companies and people within companies. They said, you know what, I would love to have a culture like this and have a vibe like this. And after a while, there were so many people that wanted a better culture, but they just didn't know how to do it within their company. And so what I did is at the end of the year, and last year, I left the company because the DNA was strong and it's just going fantastic. And I think it's going to be stronger and stronger. So I left to go ahead and help out other companies to go ahead and increase their culture, to have it engaging and empowering, so they really love their Sundays, looking forward to going to work the next week, which, as you know, a lot of that doesn't happen these days.
So why the name Culture King?
Well, I started with Zappos, and I have a big throne for all of those of you that have toured Zappos headquarters. I had a throne in my office, and it's royalty and king and queen and so forth. But basically, I put the throne in my office, and we took pictures of every employee and all the visitors that came through, just as to signify that they're royalty in their own life. Okay, and once we start with those people, especially the employees, they feel empowered. They feel like they are the royalty in their own life, and that's the way they roll, and that's the way they roll with their family and in business. And when they feel empowered and they feel like royalty, then that will spill over to the customers. And so that's why a lot of our customers just really absolutely love us, and it started really with the employees.
So what I hear you say is that by companies really creating a culture, improving or changing existing culture, really adds to their bottom line. Absolutely.
I mean, if none of your employees came to work, you wouldn't have a company. And so those same employees are reinventing the products. They're bringing products to market on time and so forth. And the thing is, if you have an employee that's disgruntled and unhappy and have a negative culture, you can ask them to stand up and they'll do it, but inside they're sitting down. So when you have an employee that's not engaged and feeling empowered, they're just not going to meet deadlines, they're not going to reinvent, they're not going to make it to market on time, and that will spill over to the customer, and the customer is not going to get the quality service or product that they want or need.
So happy, productive employees lead to happy customers.
Absolutely, that's the way it goes.
Happiness is good.
Happiness is good. As a matter of fact, Tony's writing a book on happiness, and it's #1 bestseller.
So for people that want to find out more about Culture King, what's your phone number? No. What website do they go to?
They go to cultureking.com, and we're working on a self-survey, so you can actually pull it up, and there's going to be 10 questions where you can go ahead and see about the culture in your company. You can answer the questions, and it will tell you what your score means, so you can kind of understand what's going on in your culture, and then you can contact me if you have any further questions or you want to engage in any fashion.
So you don't want to give out your phone number to millions of people right now?
Sure. If you want to call me,
No.
You can call me at 702-575-4531, because that's the reason I left. the culture, when it's great at work, it goes home with people. And we have so many stories of Zappos employees and their home life is great. So I just want to branch out and hopefully touch more companies, which will hopefully touch, or will touch, more individuals and more homes, and make home life better, make work better, just the whole gamut.
So real quick before we end the video,
okay.
I heard you speak last year. We were at a private event, and you shared with us about a lady who had worked at Zappos,
yeah.
who was offered a job that paid more money, and her teenage son said, "Go ahead, you take it from there."
Oh, you remembered it. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, Jacqueline, she came to me, and she's been working at Zappos for a year, but she came to me, she said, "Hey Doc," she goes, "it was amazing because I took the Zappos job, but I also applied for a county job, a county job about a year earlier, and they never called back, and it paid like double that I make at Zappos. And I have 2 teenage boys, and just last week, when she told me, she goes, last week, I'm sitting down about 6 p.m. at night, the phone rings, and my 17-year-old boy answers it, and he picks up the phone, the carrot, and her 17-year-old son said, hey, you know what? My mom already has a job. She works at Zappos, so she's not interested, and hang up. Jacqueline was floored. And so she looked at her boy and said, hey, who was that? And he goes, Mom, that was a county job, but you've never been happier in your personal life, and we've never been happier as a family, so you don't need that job. And so that's what I want to spread to other companies and just help make the world a better place.
That's fantastic. I do remember that story. It really stuck in that it's not always about money, and yes, people obviously need the money, but
yeah.
her son thought his mother's happiness,
yeah.
based on the culture and how she was treated individually there and felt empowered, that was more important to him than maybe having that she could afford more Xbox games for him, that
yeah.
his mom was happy because of the culture that you had helped establish at Zappos.
Yeah, as a coach, I help drive and establish, and then everybody else, HR and everybody in the company,
sure.
really contributed and helped drive the culture. But it's a real good story, and that's coming from a 17-year-old boy, which are usually a little bit self-absorbed, but he didn't want any of it.
All right, Dr. Vik, we appreciate it. We like the carrot that you're holding.
Yes, Chester Elton and Adrian Gostick, they do acknowledgement and recognition in the workplace. Great folks.
All right, folks, have a great day. Stephen Sapini and Dr. Vik signing off for now.